The music was already thumping by the time James walked in. He wasn't supposed to be here. Thursday night clubbing wasn't in his routine, especially not for someone with a wife waiting at home. But home felt colder lately. Even the light in their bedroom, once warm now, hummed, sterile white like a hospital room. James told himself it was just stress, just work, just marriage. But he knew better. He kept to the edge of the crowd, suit jacket still on, nursing a drink he didn't want. The others from his office were laughing near the booth, some drunk, some dancing. James stayed rooted, a ghost among neon. His eyes scanned the rum, not for pleasure, but distraction. Then he saw him. Across the floor, near the DJ booth, a man leaned casually against the wall. Fitted black shirt, loose curls, eyes that cut through the crowd like he'd seen this night before. James looked away quickly, then back again. The man hadn't moved, but there was a smirk now. A small one, the kind that meant nothing and everything. James turned toward the bar and ordered another drink. He needed to loosen up her, at least stop thinking. The guy was next to him before James realized. You look like someone forced you here at gunpoint, he said, voice smooth and disarming. James hesitated. Corporate event. Mandatory fun. The man smiled. Torture with strobe lights. I get it. James laughed, just enough to release the tension in his chest. Exactly. I'm Liam, the man said, offering his hand. James. He shook it, then quickly withdrew. Married hands shouldn't linger. Liam glanced at the untouched glass in James's hand. Second drink, still untouched. So, what are you doing here, really? James shrugged, trying to remember what it felt like to have fun. Liam didn't press. He simply nodded, and for a few moments they just stood there, two strangers in shared silence. The club pulsed, but around them it felt still. James was aware of how close Liam stood. A little too close, not inappropriate but just enough to notice. He didn't stay long. After 15 more minutes, James made an excuse, nodded a polite goodbye, and slipped out the back. But Liam's smirk haunted the ride home. More than that, James felt seen, and it terrified him. Back at home. His wife was already asleep. The TV was still on, playing some home renovation show. James turned it off, sat at the edge of the bed, and stared at his reflection in the mirror across the room. Same shirt, same tie, same man. But tonight, something had shifted. He loosened. His tie slipped into the bathroom and turned on the water. He didn't know Liam, didn't even know what he wanted. But he knew what he was missing. The next morning, everything was normal again. Emails, meetings, small talk. But somewhere between morning coffee and the third conference call, James found himself opening Instagram. He didn't search for Liam. He didn't even know his last name. But he looked anyway. He didn't tell anyone about that night. Not his co-workers, not his wife. He told himself it was harmless, a conversation, a random stranger. But deep down, a door had cracked open. One he'd kept locked for years, and it wasn't closing anytime soon. James sat in his car outside the club for almost 10 minutes before finally stepping out. He hadn't told anyone he was coming. No company event this time, no excuse, just a text from an unknown number earlier that day. Thursdays aren't so bad if you know where to stand. He hadn't replied, but he showed up, inside. The music was slower tonight, more rhythm than chaos. The air still smelled like liquor and cheap perfume, but something about the night felt quieter. Or maybe James was just listening differently. Now, Liam found him without effort. "You came back, asterisk." James nodded. "I had a rough week." Asterisk. Liam raised an eyebrow. "So this is therapy now?" Asterisk. James allowed a smirk. "Something like that." Asterisk. They ordered drinks. This time, James drank. Liam talked more about music, travel, the small things that made people feel alive. James listened, but more than that, he watched. Liam moved like he belonged, confident, unapologetic, the opposite of everything James had been taught to be. Asterisk. They didn't talk about wives, or husbands, or anything defining. Just feelings, just the in-between. Asterisk. At one point, Liam pulled James onto the edge of the dance floor, not to dance wildly, but just to move, to exist in rhythm. There was no touching, just proximity. James was hyper-aware of every inch of space between them. Asterisk. When he got home that night, his wife was awake. "You're late," she said, without looking up from her laptop. "Had a few drinks after work." Asterisk. She didn't question it, didn't look at him, just nodded and went back to typing. Asterisk. That night, he lay awake beside her, scrolling through his phone. He hadn't saved Liam's number, but the texts were there. Asterisk. Liam, you always this tense. James, you always this direct. Liam, only when it matters. Asterisk. They started texting more often. Late nights, random thoughts, shared songs. James would smile at his screen, thumb paused mid-response, heart racing at words that shouldn't matter, but they did, more than they should. Asterisk. At work, he became quieter. In meetings, his mind drifted. At home, he faked sleep to avoid conversation. He started checking his phone in the bathroom, in the garage, during commutes. It felt stupid, adolescent, and yet something in him burned for it. Asterisk. He never called it cheating. Not yet. It was just texting, just talking, just connection. But he knew what he was doing. He knew how far the thread had stretched. Asterisk. One night, Liam sent him a photo not of himself, but of a book on a windowsill. City lights blurred behind it. Asterisk. This reminded me of you. Something about silence that holds too much meaning. Asterisk. James didn't reply right away. He stared at the photo, then at the ring on his finger. Asterisk. When he finally responded, all he wrote was, asterisk. I think I'm slipping. Asterisk. Liam, maybe you're waking up. Asterisk. James closed his eyes and let the words hang in the dark. Asterisk. Asterisk. She stood in the kitchen, arms folded, eyes sharp. Are you seeing someone? Asterisk. James blinked. What? Asterisk. Don't lie to me. You've been distant for weeks. You come home late. You don't talk. You flinch when I touch you. Asterisk. I'm not... I haven't done anything. Asterisk. She stared, not convinced, not angry, just hollow. You're already gone, aren't you? Asterisk. He wanted to explain, but what could he say? That he was texting a man he met in a club, that he felt more alive in those brief exchanges than he had in 5 years of marriage, that he'd been living a life that never really belonged to him. Asterisk. She walked past him. Whatever it is, just stop pretending. Asterisk. Later that night, James got in his car and drove. No destination, just silence. But his hands moved on their own, steering through the dark until the streetlights turned familiar. until the pulsing bass reached his chest. Liam was there, waiting, outside the club like he knew James would come. You look like hell, he said. I think I broke something I can't fix. Liam didn't ask questions. He led him inside. They didn't drink, didn't talk much, just sat in the rooftop lounge, city lights flickering like distant warnings. James finally spoke. I've been living someone else's life. Liam leaned forward, so stop. It's not that simple. You say that like it's a fact. It's just fear dressed up as reason. James looked at him, really looked. What do you want from me? Nothing you're not already giving. The pause between them grew heavy. Then James leaned in and kissed him. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't a decision. It just happened. All the silence, the looks, the messages culminating in a moment that didn't ask for permission or explanation. When it ended, James pulled back, breath shaking. I shouldn't have done that. Liam didn't move, but you did. James stood up, unsure of what came next. The weight of guilt hit him like a wave. Everything real was unraveling. His marriage, his identity, his version of right and wrong, all of it cracked under one kiss. I have to go, James said. Liam nodded. No anger, just acceptance. Take care of yourself. James didn't respond. He walked out into the cool air, into a night that no longer felt like escape but consequence. At home, he tried. He brought flowers, tried to cook dinner, asked how her day was, but she saw through it. You think I care about gestures now? She whispered, your body's here, but your heart left weeks ago. He didn't argue. He went to the bathroom, stared into the mirror. The man staring back looked older, emptier. He splashed water on his face, sat on the edge of the tub, and exhaled like something inside him had cracked open and refused to close. He didn't text Liam that night, or the next. He deleted the thread, blocked the number. But the silence that followed was louder than anything he'd ever known. The apartment was quiet now. No arguments, no cold dinners, just James, alone. She'd left 2 weeks ago. Packed the essentials, left a note that didn't blame him, didn't beg him, just confirmed what they both already knew. Love isn't enough when the truth is buried too deep to breathe. He didn't chase her. He didn't stop her. He just watched the door close and then sat on the couch for hours after. Still wearing the same suit, tie loosened, hands clenched. He thought the silence would feel like freedom. Instead, it felt like exposure. Every morning since. He woke up before his alarm, walked into a kitchen that no longer had her mug on the counter. Every evening, he checked his phone and rechecked the blocked number, then locked it again, like muscle memory. The world kept spinning. Work didn't stop. Colleagues whispered. He nodded, smiled, and kept his head down, until tonight. He stood outside the club again. The same one he told himself he'd never return to. He wasn't sure what he wanted. Closure, forgiveness, a second chance. Inside, everything was the same and yet completely different. Same music, same lighting, but it no longer had the weight of secrecy. He wasn't hiding anymore. Just searching. He spotted Liam near the back, laughing with someone, not flirtatious, just present, alive. It hit James harder than he expected. The realization that Liam had moved on, or maybe had never waited. He didn't interrupt. Instead, he stood nearby, ordered a drink, watched quietly. Eventually, Liam noticed him. Their eyes met. No surprise, no bitterness, just a stillness between them that held too many things unspoken. Liam walked over slowly, drink in hand. "You look different," he said. "I am." Liam tilted his head. "She'll leave you." James nodded. "I left myself long before she did." They stood in the noise, untouched by it. "I didn't think I'd see you again," Liam said. "I didn't think I deserved to." Liam took a sip from his glass. "Maybe you didn't, but that's not my call to make." James exhaled. "I wasn't fair to you." You weren't fair to yourself. There was no drama, no plea for a redo. Just the truth hanging between two men who had been both cause and consequence. "I didn't come to fix anything," James said. "I just needed to know I could face you." Liam nodded. "And now, I'm not ready." "But I'm not running." Liam looked at him for a moment, then offered a small, knowing smile. "Then sit. Stay a while. No pressure." James joined him. Not as a man chasing something forbidden, but as someone beginning again. The noise of the club faded into background hum. For the first time in a long time, James felt present. No lies, no role-playing, just himself. Not perfect, not whole, but real. And for now, that was enough.